we also do want to do like some kind of thank you update to the players, because it was like such big success that we didn't anticipate.
Nice to meet you, and let me tell you, congratulations on the game.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's amazing, and it's a clear Game of the Year contender, so congrats.
It's been quite amazing and overwhelming also for us, like since the launch of the game. But we are really happy with the reception of the game and all the love that we have been given from players. I think it's the best thing that could happen for us.
First question, players often interact with games in ways developers don't expect. So what was the biggest surprise for you from the community when they first play Expedition 33?
In particular, since I spent a lot of time working on the whole battle system, it was very interesting to see the character builds that people would create. And there were actually some bugs, in the system, that because we were not planning for example, for people to do this much damage, like in a single hit. So we had to fix issues after launch, because people found very, very creative ways of breaking our game, which is of course super cool for a JRPG, because the goal for us is to people to have fun, with all the different combinations of, the skills and the passive effects. Building the characters in ways that sometimes we didn't think of. So having players break the game was actually almost a reward for us. And it means also that people are interested in what we build. So it was very positive for us.
And we often say that the first game from a studio defines the studio's DNA. So in what ways do you think that Expedition 33 captures the essence of Sunfall?
I think Sunfall, at the core, it's a few things. The first one is creating strong narrative universes, and that's what we did with Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. But we've built the story of the game, but we've also built something bigger with the Clair Obscur franchise. I think Guillermin has talked a little bit about that. So the idea is really to create a strong universe in which players can immerse themselves. And for us, in the future, it's also a good foundation to keep growing, with strong narrative proposition to players. But also in terms of gameplay, we try to do our own thing with this weird mix of turn-based and real-time action at the same time. So I think trying to stay on the kind of gameplay that we fell in love during development, and I think players enjoyed it as well. It's important to stay true to that and not be following the trends or that kind of thing. So keeping the gameplay in mind, I think it's very important when you're building a game. And also in terms of the studio itself, the team wasn't that big, the internal team at Sunfall. It wasn't that big, and we don't plan on doubling the size of the studio. There will be some a few positions that we might be recruiting for in the upcoming months or years, but we really want to keep this small team mindset where everybody knows each other, and you have very genuine dynamics also between all the team members. And it helps with communication, of course, because when you have a project this big, it's important that everybody knows the best as possible, what's going on in the team. And when you start to grow bigger than that, I think it's harder to make it work. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's just for us, it would be a big change of mindset to grow like that.
And you mentioned that you want to keep the studio small in a way, but in which ways do you think the studio evolved from the very beginning until now, you know?
Well, already like it's been 5 years. We will actually be celebrating the 5 years of the studio in October. So even people that were here at the very start of the project, they have grown as individuals. Like in the team, we recruited many juniors when we created Sunfall, and those people are not juniors anymore. They have like better technical skills and also like they, as artists, they grow. So it's kind of like a big journey altogether, and that's also what we're trying to do by keeping the size of the team not too big and not changing the team too much. Keep that genuine growth as a team and like on the artistic point of view. So that's I think the main thing that will evolve over time is that we know each other much better, and people grow as artists and as developers in general, because of course you learn a lot when you ship a game and it's your first game. Even like for us, with Guillaume, for example, we come from the industry, but shipping a game as an independent studio without an army of excellent software engineers to have your back like we did in our previous jobs, it's of course a much different experience. So of course we learn a lot from that, and there are some mistakes on the technical side that we made, of course, and we know how to do better for the future. But we are really glad that we still managed to ship the game in the state it is in today.
So, well, I guess you face different moments of doubt and challenge during development, but which creative or technical decision during development had the biggest impact on the final game?
I think very early, like we had a super strong, creative vision when it came to gameplay in particular, that was carried by Guillaume, the creative director. He really knew what he wanted to do, and that's something that can be really difficult, in game development, when you are struggling to find the core loop of the game, to find the core fun of the game. And in a way, we were lucky to have Guillaume bring this very strong idea of let's mix turn-based with real time. So this way you keep your development very focused, and you don't waste too much time trying different things that are not in the game. And I think overall, we've been also just lucky to be working with super talented people in the team, because when you're assembling a team at the very beginning, you meet a lot of people and you try to find the best members for the future team. But there is, I think, always a little bit of luck involved. But then you have to, if you are lucky, you still have to transform that luck into an actual game, which can be a challenge, of course.
Well, the game was a success. That's something that we already said. But with success come new challenges, So how will you, you as a leader of the studio, but the studio in general, how will you make sure that the team, while they are growing, they retain their creativity and agility. They don't lose that thing they have, to make great games.
I think it's basically keeping, as I said before, the size of the team small. It's also a good way to not, dilute the creative power of each individual person in the team, because of course, when you have 100 people, each individual person has, less impact on the final game than when you are a smaller team. And we had some, things in the game that, started as jokes during lunch break, and those ideas can come from virtually anybody in the team. So I think it's a good way to, have people stay in the team, stay motivated to, be working on whatever it is we do next. But basically keeping this trust that we gave to the team on the first project and preserve that as the best we can, because having team that works well together. It's very precious, and we want to keep that.
And I know you mentioned that you don't want to like grow the team so much in size, but sometimes when studios like grow in a way of success, you know that maybe, I don't know, you started like very indie studio, but do you envision Sunfold to develop maybe, I don't know, 2 games at the same time that many studios do? Or do you prefer to your next games to focus all your studio on only one title?
I think with a team this size, I think it's better to just stay on like one project at a time, to be really focused and also not split a team that works well together. But just having our focus on one thing at a time. I think it's, in terms of creativity, I think it's the best.
Yeah, I guess so. And well, like Clair Obscur has been described both as a technical marvel, but also as a very artistic game, like a work of art. So during development, how do you balance these 2 sides? Because I mean, it's not common for a game to be so great, both technical aspect and the artistic and emotional aspect,
Right. Well, thank you first. Really appreciate it. But so we give a lot of freedom to artists. So of course the technical team is sometimes catching up a little bit to make sure that the game runs smoothly. But it's this trust of allowing people to try to do things in a different way and giving them freedom to experiment as well. I think it's a good way to have a game actually be a piece of art. And I mean, like in terms of like the music, for example, Lorient was very early involved in the project. He was here at the very beginning, and for every new moment of the story that we would build, every new level that we would make, he was here, and he would read the narrative briefing and come to compose something that didn't match the mood of the level or the moment of the story that the music was for. And it's the same with Jennifer and Nicolas, who have been our writer and our art director. They've been here super early in the project, and they really got to put their vision on all aspects of the game. And then I think just trusting your team to go crazy on some things, and then try to when we see a crazy idea coming from the artistic part of the team, on the technical side we do our best to accommodate that, because we know that sometimes you can have a good idea can be a lightning in a bottle, and it's important to catch that. And for example, the world map that we have in the game, it's a big challenge because it's a huge level. It's closer to an open world, in terms of size. Meanwhile, the rest of the game are more, a smaller sized level, more linear as well. So it was a technical challenge to achieve, but we knew it was a core element of the vision Guillaume had for the game. It's a core element of JRPG games in general. So we try to respect that as much as possible, and also provide the tools for them to experiment with gameplay. For example, we created a lot of building blocks for the game designers to use and combine to create all the crazy, super hard enemies that we have in the game. And that's when you give creative freedom to people that they experiment and they create amazing things, amazing art in general.
Mm-hmm. And do you see Expedition 33 as the start of a series or more of a standalone story? Because I understand that Clair Obscur can be like a universe, but I think that right now, because the game was so great, that people will miss the characters, the story, the setting. So what's for the future of Expedition 33 in general?
Right now we are still working on Expedition 33, the game that we released. There are some updates that we want to do in the upcoming months to improve the game, and because of course, like with the number of players that we have, like a lot of requests coming online, we will be adding more like localizations. For example, we are adding Latin America, Spanish to the new future update that we will be discussing in a few soon. But so yeah, that's like there are a lot of things that even on our side that we want to improve of the game. So right now that's where our focus is, and like we also do want to do like some kind of thank you update to the players, because it was like such big success that we didn't anticipate. So yeah, we have a lot of cool stuff in the work, and we will be sharing that as soon as we can when it's beginning to take shape.
And well, looking ahead, what kind of games do you dream of making in the future?
I think we have found a really good recipe with Expedition 33, both in terms of the gameplay itself, but also the pacing of the story. I think the length of the game is a good sweet spot, because usually people as they grow older, they have less time to play games, but yet we see a lot of people our age, like above 30 or more, that find the time to play and finish the game. And I think it's important to keep that pillar in mind. So yes, that's the idea.
Well, last question, what's next for Samfol right now? I mean, your next step,
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cool things that we are working on that were made possible by the success of the game. We have shows that are only in France for now, at least. We have super cool, merchandising, because there are some characters that people want to see in plushes, for example. So of course, even us, I mean, in the studio, that's something we want to see and have. So we have so many different things that we are trying to do. It's all coming a little bit at the same time for us, so we are trying to do our best to move forward. But we released on GOG yesterday, I think. Yesterday we released on GOG, for example, so another platform. So we are really busy on a lot of things, and we have what we have also. We have a vinyl, some track coming to vinyl. So this is super exciting, because it has been one of the really praised aspects of the game. So it's great to be able to do more than the game. I think it's really we are really lucky to be in that position, and really happy as well.
Well, thank you for the questions and your time.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to meet you also.